All right, let's change topics here. I want to tell you a story of strange bedfellows. On one side, forest industry giant Nina Paper.
On the other side, a small group of determined environmentalists. But this isn't a case of two rival factions clashing. It's a remarkable case of synchronicity.
Yeah, you see, both sides are pushing the provincial government to protect a 14,000 hectare tract of land in the eastern part of the province called Ship Harbour, Long Lake.
An early fall hike through the woods on the way to the lake. 6 environmentalists plus 1 person more accustomed to harvesting trees than hiking through them. Jack Kite from Nina Paper.
Our company is in the business of harvesting timber and growing wood and making a product and being a successful business in Nova Scotia.
Kite's part of a one-day adventure through the proposed Ship Harbour Long Lake Wilderness Area, the largest remaining unprotected wilderness area in the Halifax Regional Municipality. Most of the forest in HRM is fragmented by logging roads, clear-cutting, and human settlement. But this is 14,000 hectares of pristine forests and lakes. Pictou-based Nina Paper, formerly known as Kimberly-Clark, planned to start cutting here in 2001. But environmental groups like the Eastern Shore Forest Watch, Ecology Action Centre, and the Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society fought to preserve it. Both sides quickly reached an impasse.
Essentially, we were just butting heads for the best part of a decade, but going nowhere, either for the company or for the environment.
Ray Plord and a few colleagues tried something radical. Less fighting, more dialogue.
We took a new approach, we went direct, and we started speaking with the company. And I'll tell you, that was kind of a shock for a few folks on both sides.
But it boiled down to understanding and trust and trying to see the other fellow's point of view.
Late last year, the two rivals struck a deal. Nina would give up its Crown holdings in Ship Harbour Long Lake in exchange for the right to other less sensitive Crown land in Nova Scotia. This arrangement would offset the company's losses and appease environmentalists like EAC's Kermit de Gooyer. He says if Ship Harbour Long Lake is protected, it will complete a wilderness corridor the size of Kejimkujik, but with 3 times as many lakes.
Once we get this keystone piece protected, we'll have one of the best wilderness area assemblies in the entire province right here.
In an unprecedented move, both sides took their deal to Rodney MacDonald's government. And they say after some initial surprise, the Conservatives enthusiastically endorsed it.
We've already made the decision with regards to the protection, and we have made a commitment to protect about 12% of Nova Scotia's lands for Crown land. We are currently about 8 to 9%, so we're getting there.
Protecting Ship Harbour Long Lake works for the province on several levels. It gets Nova Scotia closer to its 12% goal by 2015. It helps retain biodiversity in the area, and it saves one of the last unspoiled habitats for endangered animals like the mainland moose.
If there's a will, people can make it work. There's no question. We saw that here.
I mean, we've been out here today canoeing and walking the area and looking at it, and it's pretty hard not to endorse this area becoming a protected area.
But despite the Premier's commitment, right now Ship Harbour Long Lake remains unprotected, awaiting the next round of public consultation, an opportunity for feedback from people both for and against.
Are there some? Of course there are going to be. But I think they are now very much in the minority, and it would really be a shame to let somebody come along at the 11th hour and spoil this remarkable achievement.
There's just so much land to go around, and it really is a balancing act. This particular example is a great one. It worked out well. We found a way to make it work. Can it always happen this way? I don't know, but it's certainly a great model to try in other areas.
I spent a day out there with those guys, and I can tell you it is a remarkable place. I want to let people know there is going to be a second opportunity for public input on Ship Harbour Long Lake, the candidate wilderness area. Later this fall, the province is going to revise the wilderness area boundaries and then make that public. In the meantime, comments can be sent to protectedareas.gov.ns.ca, the address you see here on your screen. Now tomorrow we're going to have part 2 of the story. We're going to introduce you to the other people who took part in that canoe trip. You saw a little bit of them in the story there. Their vision for Ship Harbour Long Lake fits an even more ambitious national goal called the Big Wild. So we'll explain that tomorrow.
I think it's just so gorgeous and beautiful to see that kind of preservation.
Yeah, Erwin Barrett is the photographer that did all the still work in that.
Unbelievably beautiful.
As well.
You know, people come from all over the world to see that kind of scenery.
Yeah.
We should be, we should be embracing it, and I mean, goodness, capitalizing on it even. Why not bring people into our backyard and show them what we've got to offer?
Nova Scotia's billion-dollar-plus tourism industry couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, I would say. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with more Breakfast Television. Cyril Lunny's next.
Speeding down the line.